Happy Monstera Monday, everyone. My name is James and I'm from Sydney, Australia. I started this YouTube channel so I can share some of my advice on plant care, so if you want to see some more content from me, consider hitting that subscribe button and bashing that bell notification so you don't miss a thing. I'm super excited to be filming my first ever video. It's going to be about the Monstera Thai Constellation, and I'm going to be giving you 4 simple care tips, so don't go anywhere because we've got some cool content coming ahead. So a little bit of context of why I started this YouTube channel was for my genuine love of the Monstera Thai Constellation. I found myself constantly going onto Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, just scrolling feeds and trying to find new information and how to best care for one. And really, I was just interested in seeing other people's progress. Hence, I sort of hit a wall in terms of trying to find new content out there. So the aim of this channel was really to give you a little bit of a journey on how I've been caring for my Monstera and for the next few months and hopefully for the next few years as well. As you know, the Thai is one of the most expensive houseplants out on the market at the moment. People are paying upwards of $500, $600, $700 just for one of these houseplants. Highly sought after and in demand, and I've been really blessed and lucky to be owning one right now. So, all in all, I'm going to show you what mine looks like to date. Right here. She's very heavy. Ta-da! And I'm super excited because I've just got this brand new leaf that looks really variegated, as you can see that from that white strip on the camera lens right now. And I'm very stoked to see that I've got actually a new one coming pretty soon. So this one's going to unfurl probably the next week or so. So just a bit of background of when I first acquired the Monstera Thai Constellation was around February 23rd. So 3 months from when you're actually seeing this video from today. It started off with about 10 leaves, and I'll tell you actually a really funny story. As I was giving it a precautionary wipe, I found that I was too rough when I was cleaning it for the first time, and one of the leaves accidentally snapped off, which really hurt. But I'm proud to say that a couple new leaves have grown since then. I've got about 13 leaves now, and as you can see, it looks super healthy. I'll show you also one more leaf that I recently have just cut off due to nature just taking its course. The Thai Constellation is a variegated cultivar created in a lab by tissue culture in Thailand. As you can see, it gets its name from the burst of creamy variegation over the glossy green leaves, which resemble stars. So, onto the care tips. My number 1 tip for you on the Monstera Thai Constellation is to make sure it is sitting in bright indirect light. So personally, I'm in a northeast facing apartment, which means that I get all day sun being in the southern hemisphere. That means that my Monstera is getting pretty much 12 hours of sunlight a day. The regular Monstera deliciosa range, such as this one behind me, I normally actually have it in medium light, but because the Monstera Thai Constellation does have that variegation and those patterns you see here, it will require a lot more light for it to photosynthesize. So I strongly recommend that you reassess your lighting conditions to make sure that it is optimal.
In this example, on the left side we have bright direct light, whereas on the right side we have bright indirect light.
These guys need a lot of sunlight to ensure that they are maintaining the variegation that they have on their leaves. Common signs that the Monstera Thai Constellation isn't doing too well due to lack of sunlight is browning of the tips. So you really just want to double check that. My second care tip is around having an airy soil or medium. I say medium because I know some people out there are using different types of mediums such as leca. However, me personally, I'm using a 30% cacti, 30% orchid, 20% perlite, and 20% charcoal mix.
Here are some photos I took when I was repotting my Thai. You can see that I've got my potting mix go-tos, which include orchid mix in the pink bag, behind it cactus mix in the green bag, as well as perlite and charcoal. I lay a plastic sheet over a cardboard box and lay this out like a Neapolitan ice cream just to demonstrate the different ingredients. I then mixed it together homogeneously, and as you might be able to tell, you can see that the mix is quite chunky. Definitely a preference for the Thai.
The main concept here is that you're ensuring that your Monstera Thai Constellation has enough air to breathe in its roots, because the #1 killer of Monstera Thai Constellations is My third care tip is around watering. Only water when your Monstera Thai Constellation soil is drying. I use the simple finger check by dipping my finger into the top of the soil. If the soil sticks to your finger, leave it alone. If it's dry, it's time to go grab that watering can and give it a drench. My general tips around watering is that I use filtered water with my watering can, and I'll only give it a first initial splash. After 10 minutes, I'll add some fertilizer or any sort of preventative organic pest control before giving it a full drench. If you've got an airy soil, you'll know and you'll see that it will come through pretty quickly through the bottom of the drainage holes.
In this demo video, I've got filtered water prepared inside my 2-litre watering can, and I'm adding 1 ml of my favourite indoor plant food, which is by the Plant Runner. I'll leave a link to the products in my description box below. You can then use any fertilizer, just a reminder to always read the label for instructions on how much to add. I grab a chopstick and give it a really good stir around to make sure the mix is consistent. The last thing you want is an inconsistent mix where you're pouring straight fertilizer to the roots, which could cause your poor plant harm. Remember, you can also put other things in your mix such as eco or neem oil as a preventative measure for pests. Now, the fun part. Take your watering can and start slowly tipping this in, making sure you're maneuvering it around all areas of the top of the pot. This is just to make sure that all the roots are getting a really good drink and benefiting from the mix. I know. You get the point. But I'm going to make you watch me water this a little bit longer. I'm actually just trying to show you the whole process. Once you see the water run to the bottom of your pot, give it about 10 minutes to get a good drink, and then finally discard any excess so that the soil is not absorbing any extra water. I hope you enjoyed the sound of water going down my sink as much as I did. Ooh yeah!
If you want to be super careful, you can grab a chopstick and give the soil a little bit more air by poking a few holes in it.
This is a super simple trick to add some more airflow into your soil, but just make sure that you're doing it gently so you're not stabbing through the roots. It'd probably hate you if you did.
My final tip is around maintenance. Making sure that you're giving it a frequent wipe down, and every time you're admiring it, just to inspect the leaves to make sure there's nothing brewing underneath. Thanks so much guys for watching. If you liked today's video, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, or if you just want to share your love for your Monstera Thai Constellation, go ahead, I'd love to read through. I'm going to be trying to give you some more periodic updates on how my Thai is doing, especially through the winter time in Sydney. So if you want to see some more, remember to hit that subscribe button and hitting that bell notification so you don't miss any updates. Until then, I hope I've given you some plant advice for you to Monstera at your Thai Constellation forever. Pun intended.